All right, we are live with the late night stream. My goal is 3 p.m. It's 11:30, but it's all right. It's all right. Let me know if you guys can hear me well. Shout out some of the chat first, and we'll get into it. What's up, bro? New Zealand made it to a live one. Hell yeah! Welcome, Calm Nighthawk. Glad you're here, bro. We're doing it live, says John WJG5 J5P. Oh, Ozzy, me too. Diddly squat. Hello, everyone, says T James. An RBK live stream. What a surprise, but not a surprise like Pearl Harbor or the Spanish Inquisition. LOL. Diddly squat. Was the Spanish Inquisition a psyop too? Bro, is the footage of the S-type, aka the barbell, aka dumbbell UAP out now? Fucking crazy. Wait, where is that? I missed that. Where is that? Tag me on X. So many meteors overall recently too. Oh yeah, and my one little I've been seeing my little thing that I made like popping up everywhere. Just show that real quick too. Fuck it. This little side-by-side thing I made the other day. I've been seeing it. This is why we watermark, guys. This little thing. Even if it's not aliens, it's still beautiful, huh? But yeah, continue along. Some kid in Houston, Texas caught on video in 2024 and another North Carolina got them to Hollywood in 2023. Okay, cool. Resolute Decide says, wait, what footage is this? Oh yeah, everyone's talking about the footage. Snips a Month says, good morning from the UK. Oh, that reminds me, I have to send this to a bunch of group chats I'm into. Thank you, Snips a Month. Good morning. Let me see. Doing it live. Okay. Rooster Joe says, yo, yo, yo. Craig Chase says, hey, Red. Dusty Gee says, it's some weird shaped SEO. Okay, about that. So yeah, find that. Maybe we'll watch it on the stream, or if not, maybe tomorrow or something. But yeah, let's get into it. Got a few stories here. How many slides? Got 15. I'm trying to get it through quickly because it is kind of late. And yeah, I'm kind of hungry. But all right, so ready, guys, to get into it? Night shift, let's go. All right. So, first story. Matthew Brown, UFO whistleblower from Immaculate Constellation, went on Weaponized, and he said that Immaculate Constellation is basically a sentient AI that monitors UFO stuff, which I'd never really heard before until now. So let's go ahead and watch the clip.
The way you described it to us, and then the description given to Congress, is this is an AI program that basically scours all the databases and archives and platforms and military intelligence agencies and scoops up really good UFO, UAP, USO video images, things like that, and puts it somewhere else.
Right.
As if it never existed on those platforms.
Mm-hmm. That certainly appears to be one of the main functions or a capability that is part of Immaculate Constellation, right? Since it's an operation, again, it's not just one platform, not just one capability. One of the things that is involved is what you just said, identifying collection events of anomalous phenomena, sequestering them outside of, the general population or the general incoming stream of intelligence, and make sure that it goes to where it's supposed to go within the legacy program, I would assume, or more broadly, just the defense and intelligence community as a whole. So, is AI used? Clearly, right? That is a massive amount of data. Is our clandestine surveillance platforms used? Yes, they're collecting the data. They are all part of an operation, right? So one way that SAPs are structured is like nests. So you'll have a parent SAP above them, and it oversees many smaller programs, right? Each of those programs might have a very specific mission, like specifically managing the classification standards, right? Ones will actually be tasked with, identifying where and when to collect in the first place to task things, and then the operation itself. These are all, distinct roles and responsibilities. But since you're at the Pentagon, you're at headquarters, these all filter up into one comprehensive strategic view where you see everything. And, that's what's incorporated here in the Immaculate Constellation report. So what is on display are many capabilities, many programs overseen by Immaculate Constellation. That's a pretty good summary.
What people have said is that you saw one document about some war games in 2018.
Very specific category of SAPs, and those are operations and logistics. So people who are saying Immaculate Constellation is an AI, or is the Sentience program from NRO, or is XYZ the reverse engineering program, speculation. What is certain is that where I found it and its mission described fits with it being a operational SAP.
USAP, is that what it fits into? That an unacknowledged special access program?
Correct, is like the security structure. And when I'm referring to oversight of SAPs, like there's 3 bins for oversight generally and control. So you will have like intelligence, you'll have your acquisition and sustainment, and then you will have, policy overseeing the operations and logistics. So, your key here is to look at the office. The office isn't building stealth bombers. It isn't managing surveillance and reconnaissance networks. It's setting the objectives for the Pentagon, setting the objectives for what we are doing on a day-to-day basis. And what we do on a day-to-day basis are...
Yeah, and let me, we're going to go to the episode too, because I think I didn't clip up the right part, but let's watch this too. I mean, I might have already done it, but fuck it. Oh shit.
This AI system, somewhere in the federal government, in the executive branch, it reaches out and scoops up interesting images and information and takes it somewhere. And then what's done with it? What do they do? What do they do with that?
Yeah, so I mean, people have connected the dots between NRO's Sentience program as being one of the artificial intelligence capabilities that our intelligence and military community has had access to for about a decade now, at least. So what does it do with it? I mean, again, I was never formally part of this operation. I was never really formally read in. I am deducing things from the briefing that was given, which was explicit about certain things, but it's, again, a PowerPoint. So, I mean, it classifies data and sends that data to wherever there is the mission need. And there's...
See, this is where it's crazy. And, he said a lot of stuff in this interview, so I'm going to cover some of it more tomorrow about the whole like online campaigns. But this AI thing I found interesting. I don't really remember that being part of the initial rollout of Immaculate Constellation, but it seems like if what he's saying is true, and we'll just go with it for now, that like this AI or whatever system has like a lot of it's almost like it's making decisions on its own. And if you guys remember his one OG tweet when he first came to X or whatever, he was like talking about like sentient AI and stuff like that. Maybe I'll find that, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, is like this AI is looking for stuff, deleting stuff, moving stuff around, and it's like, are we even in control anymore?
The clearance for it. So when we're talking about the UAP problem set, things like this are going to be, since we're talking photographic or visual geospatial intelligence, right? It's going to be going through NGA. And then from there, they will have a roster of the different units and offices that are cleared for intelligence and will receive it to use it either in their analysis or in their, live day-to-day operations. Because again, UAP are real. They are in contact with our forces on a near daily basis, whether those forces happen to recognize it or not. There's a distinct operational need for that intelligence. And theoretically, this system is what fulfills that need while keeping people who are not cleared in the dark about the entirety of this.
So the big question that I think was kind of missed by a lot of people that watch this, they're trying to assume, because of Matt's words and his articulation is so specific, yes, there is an operation, a technological operation to siphon off the NHI contact, promised, known, unknown, unsuspected, suspected, planned. And it does.
So yeah, let's go back to my thing now, because I feel like there's some stories where that it reminded me of, where it's like people are like, "Oh, I got this thing was deleted." So let's go here first. This is a pilot who said that he posted some radar data online, and then his Instagram account was locked, and his the photo was deleted. And I've heard a lot of stories like this over the years in UFO land, like a lot of them. It's actually weird, where people are like, I took a video on my phone, and like. One that I'm thinking of, I know a guy who, he saw a UFO, his dad saw a UFO, he took a video on his phone, he sent it to his dad, they both saw the UFO, and it was somehow deleted from both of their phones without either of them doing anything. And I actually kind of have a similar story myself, where one time in LA, I was at a bar and I was like making small talk with people as I waited for a drink. And they were talking about how they had just seen a portal. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm all into this UFO shit. Like, what the hell? So they saw a UFO, a portal. They sent me a video. They showed me on their phone first. It was like, you could see the skyline, you could see buildings. And there was like this red portal that appeared. I swear to God, this is a trust me, bro. I know. This red portal appeared. And I was like, oh my God, that's pretty fascinating. Like, what the actual fuck? And then so I had them email it to me. I confirmed that I got the email. And then the email was deleted when I went to go back and look for it the next morning. And like, they were like, I didn't talk to them again after that, but like, you could tell like when someone sees something crazy, like they're like, dude, we just saw this. It was crazy. I didn't know the people and the email was gone. So it kind of reminds me of that. And I feel like that's kind of might be what's going on. Cause like I said, over the years, I've just heard a lot of stories like that where people will record something with their phone, or one, their phone doesn't work. But then two, if they do record it, it just somehow gets deleted. So here's the story from this pilot from Merged from about 2 or 3 years ago that it reminded me of.
I posted that video online.
Which video?
The bootleg video the guy sent me from the radar tapes.
Oh, you did?
I posted that online on my Instagram, and next thing you know, my Instagram was deactivated.
Really?
Couldn't get access to it.
Very interesting.
And I reported that to Ben also. Let Ben know, and I also told I didn't transmit anything over the radio.
When I do a clip like that on X, like if I have that little black part, it's like I put the juicy bits up front and then kind of like this is now like the context to get to the juicy bit again.
Video because I wanted publicity or anything. I was just doing my duty as a pilot, informing air traffic control or asking it.
We trained for that. I mean,
what is it?
Reacted that way because that's the right procedure. That's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Like, having uncertainty in our operating space like that is the last thing we work towards. So yeah.
You know, something else that's really weird. If I was on the ground, or if I was at 12,000 feet in a Cessna, even at 25,000 feet in a Citation flying, and I looked up and saw the lights, I wouldn't even looked up twice. I would have thought, more airplanes. I wouldn't even have thought twice.
Because you're so high.
But what got me was at 47,000 feet, and I know nobody's above us. Nobody is. You know, and everybody starts saying, hey, it's probably military. I said, okay, let's say it is military. Where are the military landing lights? They're on the landing gear. You think a military aircraft's going to fly around with its landing gear down? It wouldn't be able to maintain flight at that altitude.
Yeah.
And no military aircraft's going to make those kind of turns. I mean, who can make those kind of tight turns at that altitude? I know it's going to take me 10 miles on my Gulfstream
10 miles.
to make a turn, and I have a massive 100-foot wingspan. What's it going to take if something? I don't know how big this was. I don't know if it was a small object, as small as a table, just a big light, or if it was a massive object. I don't know. I couldn't see anything but the lights, which was really strange. And the lights never disappeared. The lights as they came on me, they were really bright. And then as they started to move away, but the lights were still, I could still see the lights. They never disappeared. Okay. So they weren't directional. You know, they weren't fixed at a fixed direction. It was like almost like a nav light on a ship. The bottom where it's always there. Yeah. Where it's always there. But it was more defined when it was coming around the circle towards me. It got really bright.
If I'm not mistaken, and you guys have to go back and watch this because this dude has like a few stories over the years. I think he was a military pilot and then he went on to become a commercial pilot. And this story was from when he was a commercial pilot, if I'm not mistaken.
And then it faded out, but it was still there. It never disappeared. It was always there. And at the end, I believe there were 7 total flying. 7 total, I believe, at the very end and flying in formation. So I believe the 5th one joined them from above. It was either the 5th or 6th one joined from above. And then another 1 or 2, whatever order it was. And there were a total of 7 at the very end.
Oh, wow.
But you could hear that on my air traffic control tapes when I came in and I reported to air traffic control. And that's when it really got me, because I jumped on there and said, hey, 1 just joined it from above. Now there's 7, 1 or 6 or 7. 1 just joined from above, came in from above and joined them. You know, and here's what's funny. I got a copy of the air traffic control tape of the lady making a call to her supervisor, and they were laughing about it. And then when she said, well, hey, this guy is reporting it again, and he said he's a retired Marine F-18 pilot, then their attitude changed. Like, okay, this isn't just some whack job out there, you know, just making stuff up. Because I told him, listen, I've done I've done intercepts and everything. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
So their attitude sort of changed when they found out that I had a little bit of credibility behind me.
That speaks to
somebody who
me
does
as
that.
like a lack of just integration into our aviation safety framework in the United States. I mean, globally, but even in the United States, I know they probably laugh just because they weren't familiar with the topic and what have you, but I believe that the policies and the procedures for reporting this and actually following up on the data are going to help alleviate that. Because,
well, I hope so, because you shouldn't have. It doesn't matter if I was an F-18 pilot or if I was a student pilot. A sighting is a sighting. If somebody sees something that's unexplained, they should take every single report with the same enthusiasm, right? It doesn't matter. I mean, anybody can get out there and make a story up, and it's up for the evidence to speak for themselves. I wish I had video of it. I don't have video of it. All I have is my word and what I saw over the radio. But how many pilots don't say anything? I mean, it's obvious. The airline pilots called in and said, hey, yeah, we saw something, but they didn't want to say it over the radio.
I wonder why that was.
I've talked to other airline guys, old retired airline captains, and they said that it was against company policy. You could lose your medical. They can think you have some psychological problems, and you lose your medical, right? You lose your medical, you lose your job. Can't fly anymore.
Exactly.
Medical, not meaning medical. It's the medical I'm talking about.
To say
you have to go every year to an aircraft medical examiner and get evaluated by a doctor and says, hey, you're capable, competent to be a pilot. You're physically capable. Pilot.
You essentially have to probably explain that. Even if they did sign off on it, that would be an issue you'd probably have to discuss every time.
It would if something got put in your record, your FAA record, it never goes away ever. So even if it wasn't in your airline record, let's say they sent you in for a mental evaluation, it's in your permanent record for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So guys just don't want to deal with it. They just want to put their head down and not say anything. Or they'll make an anonymous call.
How many people trying to go for a commercial airline job after they go in the military want something like that sitting in their file?
Or how many just regular pilots that never went in the military? At least we have some credibility behind us for what it's worth. But how many guys are out that get their commercial license that are flight instructors that see things that they don't know what they are, and they don't want to report it because they don't want the stigma attached to it. And I hope that I mean, I don't care. I'm not in fear of losing my job. My boss is completely, he completely trusts me and he's got confidence in me. He knows I'm not going to make up a story for what am I going to get out of it? I've got nothing but hassle from it.
Yeah.
As soon as it hit the internet, I started getting all kinds of weird phone calls and harassing emails and my social media. Oh, here's one I got to tell you. This is great.
Back again.
As soon as it hit the internet, I started getting all kinds of weird phone calls and harassing emails and my social media. Oh, here's one I got to tell you. This is great. I forgot about this. So
notice how similar this is to what I'm going to play next too. He says he posted that audio online. He starts getting harassing emails and phone calls. Right now, continue along.
I posted that video. Online.
Which video?
The bootleg video the guy sent me from the radar tapes.
Oh, you did?
I posted that online on my Instagram, and next thing you know, my Instagram was deactivated.
Really?
Couldn't get access to it.
Very interesting.
And I reported that to Ben also.
Video has deleted his Instagram. What do you guys think? What's the mechanism behind that? How does that happen? What's going on? We already know the NSA is in all our phones at all times ever. Would it be really so hard to add another layer of, you can access everything, but you could also delete stuff too, How does that happen? Before I get to the next one, let's just recount. He sees UFOs, 7 UFOs flying. I'm pretty sure he was a commercial pilot at the time. He doesn't get a video of it, but he's able to talk to the air traffic controller and they're able to record something of it. He posts that video online. He immediately starts getting harassing emails, and then shortly his Instagram gets taken down and the video gets deleted once he does get his Instagram back. How does that happen? Now listen to this next one, and they're kind of similar. This is from the New Jersey drone wave. This is a witness we interviewed, and he's going to describe how after he filmed an orb UFO near Picatinny Arsenal, and I've covered this a few times on various streams, something very similar happened. He started getting harassed, and then the day before the FBI came to visit him about this video, the orb video was taken down from everywhere on the internet except X, even from places where he didn't post it. So even other people had posted it. It was taken down. Yeah.
About the UFO
wait,
phenomenon.
Real quick, and then you guys can go back to it. I just had a question for Zane, real quick. Zane, did you just say that you found something and then authorities visited you? Is that what I heard you say?
Filmed an orb UFO 10 miles from Picatinny Arsenal, like December 15th, 2024, right in the heat of the wave, right in the heat of the location. Picatinny Arsenal, New Jersey is where the drones were first reported. Hear this story.
Well, I filmed, again, I need to be vague. I did write an article on my X profile that I go into as much detail as I feel comfortable, because unfortunately I got severely doxxed when I posted what I found on the internet. So now I got to protect my family, and I have to be very anonymous about everything. So I don't want to get into specifics, but I will give you the nutshell of what happened. I captured video of an unexplained object in the sky. I did not know what it is. It was in New Jersey in recent times with everything that's been going on. The video went pretty viral on the internet. Then the video got taken down everywhere pretty much. And then it was about a day later, I got visited by the FBI, though they also did visit my neighbors. But they did ask about the video. They asked of what I saw. They were very nice. There was no aggression there. They just asked some questions. They did pretty much, it was intimidating that they showed up at my house and they knew who I was, but also my information was fully doxed online as well. So it really did intimidate me in the sense that I have to be careful what I say. And though I want to be part of this community, I had to restart over. I had to get rid of all my social media accounts online. I had to get rid of everything because, there were literally thousands of people trying to reach out and give me hate for something that I wasn't even trying to claim what I saw. I just saw something, I filmed it, and I got a lot of hate for it, and as well as a bunch of people wondering what was going on and what it was. But that's my story in a nutshell. But I will say that the FBI, they were very cordial. There was no real issues, but they did show up at my house. I know they went to my neighbors as well, but they were specifically asking about the video I took. So whatever that means to you, I don't know. I'm still trying to process everything that happened as well, and I don't have all the answers, but in a nutshell, that's my story.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. If you could DM me the video, I would love to see it. And also, thank you for not being afraid. Thank you for being brave to come and talk with all of us who are trying to figure it out. I'm absolutely shocked that they found you through a video online. And yeah, that's what are you doing? What are you talking about? What did you see? That's freaky, man. Nobody wants to knock on the door from the FBI.
Can you describe the video?
Briefly, I want to be careful because the video itself seems to be what got me in trouble more than anything. I think talking about it is okay, but showing it, I'm a little skeptical. But essentially, it was an orb-like image in the sky. It was not a traditional drone of any sort. It was more orb-like. I saw.
So I interviewed this guy at the time too. But here we go. This is I had to do an AI recreation because this is the same video that got my channel taken down last year last year for about 5 or 6 months. So this is an AI recreation. This isn't the same video, but it looks basically just like it. This is what the guy filmed 10 miles from Picatinny Arsenal. It was in the actual video, it was raining more though. So this thing was just like cutting through butter in the rain, and it was just an orb, a bright orb, right? So okay, just so for context, like what was he even talking about? Let's get back to the clip.
It was really just a bright light in the sky moving around in a weird way, which isn't unlike a lot of other videos I've seen. So I don't know why I was singled out, but I can tell you that the video online through different social media had hundreds of thousands of views, and then simultaneously everywhere pretty much got deleted all at the same time. And that was what was really weird.
When was this stream?
I don't want to say specific dates or times because that might identify the video more so with me. And again, trying to stay anonymous with that. But yeah. I can tell you it was within the last couple of weeks.
Now, I don't think he got in trouble, although I kind of got in trouble because my channel got down. It was horrible. And like I have 3 channels, so all 3 of them were down because they're connected. But he was visited by the FBI, and just the video was removed. He said the FBI was nice and cordial, just wanted more information, and it did make sense. I tracked the metadata, and he actually also had footage from his Ring camera of when he filmed it. I confirmed he filmed the video 10 miles from Picatinny Arsenal on like December 15th, 2024, like in the height of the drone wave. So I don't know.
Okay.
What did the FBI tell you about the whole situation, and what did they leave you with? What was the vibe?
Well, they did not disclose anything to me. They didn't say anything to me more than just asking me the couple questions. They did not come in my house. They just knocked on the door. They asked if they could ask me a couple questions. They asked me if I, about the video, and that's the way they said it though, about the video that I recorded. So they knew about the video. They knew it was me. And
Where's the video?
they pretty much it just said that they were just asking questions. They were also asking neighbors about, lights in the sky.
TJ.
That was really it. Then they left at that. They didn't go into any detail. They didn't disclose anything for me. They did not, so I've heard reports of sometimes of.
And Eric says here, allegedly NSO group Pegasus can do most of what's alleged about deleting stuff from phones. So
the feds come, they threaten you or this. No, they didn't do anything like that to me. They just simply asked me some questions. It did intimidate me. And definitely at that point, with my information leaking online and then that happening, that's when I deleted everything on social media. And because I don't know if that's how they found me or not.
Was the video already deleted everywhere by the time they visited you, or did that happen after?
It happened the night prior.
Are you Richard Doty?
So the video was still intact when they came and saw you?
No, the video got removed from every platform. And this is the weird part. It got removed from everywhere I uploaded it, but it also got removed from other people's posts from what I could tell. I mean, it might still exist somewhere on the internet, but it got removed in a bunch of places all at the same time. And it was the night before it got removed. And then they showed up the next morning.
See, so doesn't that remind you guys of the previous one too, where this dude posts a video online, gets harassed, it gets removed from everywhere, and he gets visited by the FBI. Although the previous guy didn't get an FBI visit.
I posted that video online attached to it, and I hope that they trust me. And
Yeah,
as soon as it hit the internet, I started getting all kinds of weird phone calls and harassing emails and my social media. Oh, here's one I got to tell you. This is great. I forgot about this. So I posted that video. Online.
Which video?
The bootleg video the guy sent me from the radar tapes.
Oh, you did?
I posted that online on my Instagram, and next thing you know, my Instagram was deactivated.
Really?
Couldn't get access to it.
See, so this all kind of reminds me of the same kind of thing Matt Brown's talking about, the Sentient AI, and that Eric in the chat is talking about that allegedly Pegasus can do that. Yeah, and again, like this video got my my channel taken down again. It was nothing really particularly interesting, but especially you got to remember during the height of the drone wave, like no one knew what the hell was going on. And if they were very much, whatever you think about it, they were not being forthcoming with it. So I don't know, just the fact that, and how they did it too for me and this dude was they did it, in my opinion, through a third party. This company called Viral Hog claimed the video basically everywhere. So it was identified and then claimed by this like random shady company. And they were filing copyright strikes on it everywhere, even though they didn't own the video. And that dude never talked to them. Yeah. All right, let's continue along here. So the next story. There's a new film coming out about Bob Lazar. It's part documentary, part AI recreation, it seems, and a new trailer was released from it. So let's go ahead and watch that together and talk about it.
Physical evidence now exists which proves that there is life elsewhere, and at least one form of that life has been here. As of 1989, that evidence was in the custody of the United States government. Between December of 1988 and April of 1989, I worked as a senior staff physicist in what has to be the most secret project in history. My job in this program was to be part of a back engineering team. This particular disc appeared to be in excellent condition, and because of its sleek appearance, I nicknamed it the Sport Model. The goal in this program was to see if the technology of the disc could be duplicated with Earth materials. To start up the reactor, of course, we need some element 115. In fact, you need 223 grams, machined into a wedge like this. The program out at S4 consisted of 3 projects: Project Galileo, Project Sidekick, and Project Looking Glass.
The file on top was Project Galileo, and as it turned out, that's the project that I was part of. And that clearly referred to reverse engineering a recovered alien spacecraft.
Just cannot be a secret from anyone, not just the American people, but the rest of the world.
All this stuff is something that happened to him. It's not who he is.
They're doing everything they can to keep this information secret.
That's empirical evidence. I saw a craft to do that, thanks to him.
Out this story spills. And the world changes.
So that was fun. I kind of like that one. I'm trying to see. There was another one. Remember where they were just like driving around in the desert? I'm trying to find that one. Did they delete it? They might have deleted it. Oh, I think they did delete it. Maybe because, I don't know. There was one where he was just driving around in the desert. But I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Bob Lazar is telling the truth? Someone says that movie is full of AI slop. Available on Amazon worldwide. I mean, there is a lot of AI in there. But featuring Bob Lazar, George Knapp, Gene Huff, Joy Lazar, and Mario Santa Cruz. Let's do you guys remember the one made by our good friends over at the King Milkport Harassment Archive? Let me see. Actually, I think it might be here better too. The one that I may or may not have helped on. Let's see. Give me one moment. This one, here we go. Remember this? Eric says no chance he believes Bob Lazar, but it is a fun story. Yep.
Ever since I could remember, I wanted to be a gangster.
We have a lineup and all the girls come out and then he picks which one he likes.
An illegal brothel. Those early days in Vegas were some of the best times of my life. We lived like kings and didn't have a care in the world.
That interest eventually led to some work he did for a small bordello in a residential Las Vegas neighborhood.
We did what we wanted to do, when we wanted to do it, and however we wanted. And although dealing with prostitutes and Johns could be difficult, they were easy work compared to what was to come.
There's several, actually 9 flying saucers. When you add it all up, Lazar says he's an easy target to discredit.
A group of Hell's Angels bikers showing up as spectators at the federal district court.
It's obvious it's very difficult to get information on Mr. Lazar.
Of which the most easily verifiable is my early 1980s job here at the Los Alamos Mason Physics Facility in Los Alamos, New Mexico.
Be special in Japan.
And I get people telling me, well, I don't see why you don't believe him. He seems so sincere. Sincerity is not a check on truth.
A-Rod and I are going to go out in a search and destroy mission trying to find those enemies of you that are...
And if I ask you on camera if you know Bob Lazar, can you just say no?
I do sit silently.
Our methodology of the study of yoga based upon the concept of the martial way.
Dude, we gotta do a talk show on fucking Showtime. That's what we gotta do.
Not looking for a handout, nor do I expect any sympathy. I simply tell you this because I want it on the record.
Remember, not everyone who sees a disc in the sky is crazy. So keep your eye on the sky, especially here at Central Nevada. And thanks for listening.
This summer, Martin Scorsese presents Bob Lazar.
Yeah, that was really Corbell. I'll try and find that live. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna have to do another stream where I just go through all these because this is a fun little moment in time. Yep, this is Jeremy, Kenyon, Lockyer, Corbell kicking ass during the quantum jujitsu days. Look at that. Boom. Bow to your sensei. Look at that. Look at that. At a church even too, in front of God. Let's fucking go. Oh shit. Oh. Man, we did him dirty. Look how we did him dirty with the edit too. Damn. I didn't go back far enough. Look at this edit. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, dude. He's kicking ass. Again, out of church. Now he's kicking ass out of fucking science lab, dude. Do not fuck with Jeremy, Kenyon, Lockyer, Corbell, bro. Fuck it, let's just do it live now. Let's see what else. Let's see what all the quantum jujitsu stuff is. Is this another one? I think this is or is this a playlist? That's one we just watched. Let's see this. Oh, another one? Okay. I'm gonna try and find one that's one I can talk to the news. Oh, here we go. Found it. So first, I guess he actually did motion capture too. What the hell is this? I've never seen this. What the hell? Let's see. What is this?
And action. Thank you.
Oh, dude, he's kicking ass in video games now too. Damn, poor Bell. Let's go. Bow to your sensei. The origin story of Corbell, bro. What was this even for? Damn, does it say in the description what game was that for? I want to play the game. Or was that just for fun? Is this... I hope that if that was in a video game, I would love to play it. Okay, but here's the last one. Here's where he went on the news.
Throw it away. There's a new concept in the ancient art that's been specifically developed for those interested in martial arts. It's called warrior yoga, where serenity and strength become one and the same.
Warrior yoga, bro.
Hi, I'm Taj. We're here at Warrior Yoga at Lululemon Athletica in Santa Monica. I've never done Warrior Yoga before, so we're going to go check it out. Hi,
I'm Jeremy. Nice
to meet you too, Jeremy. So tell me, what is Warrior Yoga?
Warrior Yoga is a method or a methodology of the study of yoga based upon the concept of the martial way. I began studying yoga when I was 9 years old. I studied jiu-jitsu at the same time, and I found that the practice of yoga helped me to become a better competitor at first and allowed me to relax my mind and my body and get me kind of more able to practice the martial arts. And then after time, yoga became a focus for all of my students and my martial arts schools around the U.S. And now everybody uses it for competition and also just for basic classes. The response has been, overwhelming in every area of life and every kind of person. And, it's just something I guess you have to try for yourself.
I think so. So where do people go to learn more information?
You can go to warrioryoga.org or you
Warrior
can
yoga, bro.
try the class right now.
Bow to your sensei.
Well, I'm here for that. Let's do it.
Let's do it. You always got to flex first thing in warrior yoga.
Okay, I can do it.
He's a lover, or he's a fighter, but he's also a lover. You know what I mean?
Namaste. Inhale, extend out, flat the back. Exhale, shoot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog.
Yeah, dude, with all the Santa Monica baddies too. I see what you're up to, Corbell. See what you're up to, bro. We see what you're up to, Corbell. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to Santa Monica and teach all these super hot women warrior yoga.
Exhale, float. Double fold.
The origin story.
Exhale it. Okay, so inhale, lifting, warrior one. Exhale, push. Inhale, open. Good.
Look at she's getting a sweat going.
So thank you for coming to Warrior Yoga today. I hope you enjoyed the class.
Hell yeah, dude.
I will see you next week at 7. Attention, deep inhale. And bow. Namaste.
So, thanks for hanging out with us today at Warrior Yoga. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I had a great time, really toning the muscles, toning the mind, and now I have to go take a shower. Bye-bye.
Okay, fuck it. Last thing from the Warrior Yoga Saga. See, look, this is why these shows take forever, because I'm just always down to do a little sidebar. This says, artist, jiu-jitsu master, investigative filmmaker, and philosopher, Jeremy Corbell from 10 years ago. Let's see what this, he might talk about the philosophy of Warrior Yoga. Let's see.
But my friends and enemies call me forename as a joke because my full name is Jeremy Kenyon Lockyer Corbell.
I like to always say all four, dude.
I got 4 names, right? I'm a investigative filmmaker, accidental artist, and trying to be a former mixed martial athlete. Yeah, so I was a mixed martial athlete. I trained jiu-jitsu my whole life. That's all I thought I would ever do. It was in my blood. Live, die, breathe jiu-jitsu. And, plans have a way of changing. And so at one time in my life, I had a dramatic shift. And I moved into, fine art and photography. And I had a mentor who took me in and kind of showed me how to use like an old Polaroid. And so my art career just kind of, took off from there totally unexpectedly. When I say accidental artist, I mean truly accidental. That was not part of my life plan. All of a sudden, those different elements of who I was fused into who I am here sitting in front of you today. But it is my hope, as it is my hope for every person, that they have multiple opportunities to face challenges that then bring them to new understandings of what they truly are. What we are is so much deeper than just what we do. Currently, the primary thing I do with my life is I'm an investigative filmmaker. And instead of focusing on UFOs or just conspiracies or, government individuals who are whistleblowers, what I try to do is show how they have come from one level of understanding to the next. So my films are about the human spirit and how it evolves with the information that we
I like this haircut. Let's bring this one back. It's bold.
It's the things in life that shake you to your core that might be frightening at the moment that expand your spirit into what you're meant to be challenged by. We all have a calling within our spirit. If you have curiosity, even an ounce, that is a symptom of something bigger within yourself. We are all expressions infinitely of what's at our core, and then we're learning to express it in different ways. And no matter what, eventually, it's gonna win.
That was our little detour into Corbell land. That was fun. That's the fun thing about UFO land is a lot of these people have like interesting little backstories. Like Green Street was like Kesha's tour manager or some shit, or tour videographer, and just all a bunch of little random shit like that. That's funny to me and cool. Respect to Corbell. I don't hate him. I know a lot of people like to throw him shit, but well. All right, next story. Mystery drones were spotted above the base where Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth live. This was pretty wild to see happen over the weekend. Let's go and watch a video about it, news story.
Today, new security concerns after multiple drones were reportedly detected above a Washington Army base that houses some of the Pentagon's most senior officials. 3 people briefed on the situation tell the Washington Post it happened over Fort McNair. That's also home to Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. It's unclear where the drones came from, and the Pentagon declined to discuss the Post's report. Let's bring in one of the reporters on that story, Isaac Arnsdorf. Here in studio, MS Now senior national security reporter David Rhodes. So, Isaac, what more can you tell us about these drones?
Well, importantly, the administration has not determined what they are, where they came from, or what threat they pose.
What does that remind you guys of? Mystery drones above the fucking base near DC that houses the Secretary of War and Secretary of State? Totally normal. Eric, our drone bro in the chat, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this story. But
obviously, they were detected because of this higher threat environment, this elevated state of alert that the military has on because of the war in Iran. And very concerningly, they look similar to drones that appeared around other U.S. officials in the past who Iran has wanted to kill in retaliation for a previous strike against Iran that killed one of their generals in 2020. So for people who remember the 2024 Trump campaign and some of the threats to former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and John Bolton, Iran has this track record of wanting to assassinate U.S. officials who they hold responsible.
So, David,
I mean, we did just kill their leader, right? It's like they have this track, or like we kind of just did that exact thing to like a bunch of them.
Concerned are American officials right now about potential Iranian retaliation here in the U.S.?
There are concerns because Joe Kent, who's the head of the National Counterterrorism Center, just resigned. That post is empty. And it's a variety of things. It could be these drones. And Isaac's right. It was a great story. There's so little regulation or understanding of the drones that are in the air in this country. There was all those things in New Jersey about a year ago, but it's not clear. Other threats would be more of a homegrown attack. The terrible attack on the synagogue, the children, the attempt in Michigan that happened last week. There was also the incident in Virginia where one person was killed by someone who had previously been convicted of supporting ISIS. So that's the sort of lone wolf thing where someone's inspired to take action. There's less concerns about a cell, some kind of organized group in the United States that's going to carry out an attack. So it's a wide variety of things, but they are on the lookout and are very concerned about what could happen.
And Isaac, Fort McNair is very close to both Capitol Hill and the White House, but you note that it doesn't have the same safety buffer as other bases. What do you hear?
Okay, let's see. So here's the Capitol, Fort McNair base. So it's right there and right by the Pentagon. Okay. Interesting. And here's the White House. Great map, MSN. I don't know, guys. I feel like we should be able to identify, especially in we're basically at war, right? In war times. We shouldn't really have unidentified flying shit over this airspace of all airspaces. If it's Iranian, if it's aliens, whoever the fuck it is, it's not good.
Hearing about potential efforts to boost security there now.
Our resident drone expert, Eric, says, hard to tell what's up with this yet. Probably not foreign large fixed-wing drones around U.S. airspace. Small, improvised, multicolor UAS are always a threat.
Told that there were increased security measures put into place after these drone sightings. There was a meeting at the White House about other possible responses. There was a discussion about whether the secretaries who are living there need to move, and they decided not to.
So, David, in the last hour, President Trump also confirmed your reporting that the administration is requesting an additional $200 billion for Iran war funding. Secretary Hegseth was asked about that funding earlier today, and here's what he said.
I think that number could move. Obviously, it takes money to kill bad guys. So we're going back to Congress and our folks there to ensure that we're properly funded for what's been done, for what we may have to do in the future. Ensure that our ammunition everything's refilled, and not just refilled, but above and beyond. I mean, President Trump, as he said, rebuilt the military in his first term, didn't think he'd use it as dynamically in his second, but he had. So thank goodness he did that.
It takes money to kill bad guys, not exactly specific, although the president said today, among other things, that the U.S. has an unlimited supply of.
Kind of more focused on the drones. And I just want to remind
Are you aware of any?
The UFO splits a Hellfire missile. This is when we were bombing targets in Iran. I mean, Iranian-funded advanced tech bunkers in Yemen. And that's when this happened, October 2024. And then a month or 2 weeks later was the New Jersey drone wave. So I'm just, this pattern of us attack Iran, mystery drones over America. I don't know what the correlation is. Maybe they're in cahoots with NHI. Maybe it's NHI trying to tell our people to calm down. Maybe it's China. Maybe it's, I don't know.
Thing in the government, United States government arsenal that can split a Hellfire missile like this?
No.
And do whatever blob thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins?
Nothing to my knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you, Mr. Borland?
I prefer to answer that in a skiff.
But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah. What the hell is that? What?
So again, I'm not going to speculate what it is, but the question is,
Does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes.
Nat?
I had a different reaction. I was really happy that it got out. Thanks.
So 1 week after this happens, or 2 weeks, I mean, we get, again, like I said, U.S. bombers target underground Houthi weapon sites in Yemen. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said B-2 Spirit stealth bombers were part of the operation that targeted hardened underground facilities housing missiles and other munitions that the Iran-backed group had used to attack civilian and military ships. So 2 weeks after that, we had the New Jersey drone wave, right? Just a little brief. We're not going to play the full thing, but, I just find it interesting, right? It's like attack Iran, mystery drones over America.
What the fuck is that?
Mystery drones over America.
You seeing that, right?
All just stopped because
they're fucking drones.
Maybe it's the Israelis or it's the ROCA trying to
You saw them, right?
hype up
huge.
tensions.
Oh my gosh, I don't like that. Stop. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. What's on the back of it? Oh my gosh. What is on the back of that thing?
which is low.
And again, let's not forget, I'm not saying this is fact.
I'm going to tell you the real deal.
Members of Congress were told that they were Iranian drones back in the day. This is from 2024. Jeff Van Drew, New Jersey Republican.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off. I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones.
So again, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud and stuff. I just find it interesting.
Today, new security concerns after multiple drones were reportedly detected above a Washington Army base that houses some of the Pentagon's most senior officials. 3 people briefed on the situation tell the Washington Post it happened over Fort McNair. That's also home to Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. It's unclear where the drones came from, and the Pentagon declined to discuss the Post's report. Let's bring in one of the reports.
So yeah, very odd. All right, 2 more stories.
Are you?
Israel breaks ceasefire and strikes.
All right, here we go. So this was a 4chan post from a few years ago that predicted World War III and aliens invading. Let's just watch this little video I made of it, and we're having fun,
Iran. Trump responds with B-2 bunker busters on nuclear sites. Iran hits all Gulf oil.
I'm going to tell you.
Israel breaks ceasefire and strikes Iran. Trump responds with B-2 bunker busters on nuclear sites. Iran hits all Gulf oil fields and U.S. bases, blocks Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb.
So basically, those 3 things have happened so far, right? Israel breaks ceasefire and strikes Iran. That happened. Trump responds with B-2 bunker busters on nuclear sites. I'm pretty sure that's happened. Iran hits all Gulf oil fields and U.S. bases, blocks Hormuz. I'm pretty sure that's happened too.
Oil prices skyrocket. Blackouts in Africa and Third World. U.S. sends 3 aircraft carriers, at least 2 sunk by Iran, Russia, and China using suicide tactics. U.S. tries amphibious invasion.
Now we're in the future stuff. It's just, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not saying take everything from 4chan hard, but it's interesting to just think out loud about this stuff.
Fails with massive casualties. Second attempt succeeds. Oil field seized. Advance halts. U.S. Civil War begins. Anti-war bloc takes D.C. with military support. U.S. splits in two and retreats from Middle East. Turkey.
Can you guys see that? If Trump was to start dropping nukes, I could see maybe something like that happening, honestly. You know, I would hate to see a civil war in America, but if Trump was to just be out here just like nuking people, I think that would kind of radicalize a lot of people to be like, we'll go to civil war over getting you out. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
He betrays NATO, joins Russia-Iran-China alliance, attacks Israel.
Turkey betrays NATO. I could see that happening.
China invades Taiwan and Guam. North Korea invades South. Japan fails to stop it. India possibly flips sides. Russia invades Poland and Baltics, links to Kaliningrad. Finland and NATO invade Russia, take St. Petersburg. Europe collapses into riots, famine, and civil wars. Latin America allies with China and Russia. U.S. invaded from the south. Advance stops at Colorado. 50 to 150 tactical nukes used high in atmosphere. Tsar bomb and 2 strategic nukes used in Europe. Israel destroyed, Palestinians wiped with it. Air travel ends, crime and chaos everywhere. 3 weeks of nuclear events. Fake alien invasion begins. MJ-12 releases synthetic alien soldiers, PLFS. PLFS hunt survivors.
I guess that's a Greer term for the fake aliens they use in my lab. Someone was telling me that earlier today. I never heard that term, PLFS. PLFs.
FEMA camps classify people as useful or undesirables. By 2027, 5 billion dead. Fake aliens defeated with help of real ones. One world government under MJ-12 and the UN. Dome of the Rock.
Dome of the Rock destroyed, is what that says. And then what was the thing at the bottom? Script complete. Okay, so that's script complete. So there you go. What do you guys think? Which of those sounds likely to you? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, everyone's saying there's no reason to deploy Tsar Bomba. Yeah, hopefully everything just kind of calms down in the world, but, you know, this was an interesting post, so fuck it. All right, now, last story. The White House quietly registered the domains aliens.gov and alien.gov, I believe, as well. And everyone's like, whoa, what is this about? Is this about illegal aliens? Is this about UFO disclosure related to Trump? Well, apparently the website Defense Scoop reached out to White House spokeswoman Anna Kelly. So let's just read this and what she said. Shortly after the initial publication of this article, White House spokesperson woman Anna Kelly told Defense Scoop in an email response to those questions to stay tuned. Her statement included the same alien emoji that Hegseth used on social media when he reposted Trump's promise last month to publish previously undisclosed records of extraterrestrials and unidentified craft. Let me see if I could find that real quick. Pretty sure I retweeted it at the time, but I'm gonna have to do it on search on my phone, and then we'll go over. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. I found it. Let's go to my feed over here now. Claire. It was this. So about a month ago now is when Trump was like, based on tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. And he did the alien emoji with the salute. And this was like, what was that, about a week before he went to war with Iran? And back here, the outlet Defense Scoop is reporting that White House spokeswoman Anna Kelly said, "Stay tuned" when asked if this was what this was about. But she also did, and I didn't put it there, but she clarified that this wasn't about immigration, was not about immigration. So, I mean, she used an alien emoji. I don't know why they didn't include it in the actual article thing there, but that's kind of interesting. Now let's watch a little news clip about it.
Do you think aliens are real?
I do. No. Possible. So many universes out there.
I think so. I can't categorically deny their existence. I'm not sure.
They're definitely not green if they are real.
Yeah.
Looking green and scary, so that's what I would think, but I don't know.
I think they probably evolved.
Trump is expected to release some files on aliens. What do you think he's going to say? I don't think there's going to be any proof that they actually exist in those files.
I think they closely represent like humans. I don't think they're these crazy monster looking things.
What kind of technology
not a
do you
bad
think they have?
take.
Do you think they're more advanced than us?
Yeah, everything. Let's go there. They got everything.
No cars, definitely spaceships for sure.
Yeah, sure. We are aliens. Don't you see?
Oh shit!
All right,
They're
so we
telling
can
you.
laugh, but this is definitely
They're telling you
a serious story, and we're learning more about non-humans apparently interfering with our military equipment. A former Air Force officer says he witnessed it for himself at an Air Force base in Montana.
It's another civilization out there.
Yeah.
That is visiting us and are concerned about us destroying this planet through nuclear war.
Dr. Stephen Greer is the founder of the Disclosure Project. He's back with us tonight. Dr. Greer, good to see you. I'm just wondering if you could explain this to me. Do you believe that gentleman is my first question, but if you do, why are aliens interfering with our military equipment?
Oh, yes, that gentleman was one of our original Disclosure Project witnesses in the 2001 National Press Club event, the 25th anniversary of which you're invited to. We'll be doing at the National Press Club again on May 8th. Now, they interfered in the sense they were surveilling, and the same things were happening to Soviet.
Well, real quick, let me just play this. One at more.
I wonder if we're alone. Here's something to think about. The White House, or the Trump administration at least, registering some new websites, alien.gov and aliens.gov, according to federal records. Just about a month ago, the president said on social media that the administration would start identifying and releasing government files about aliens and UFOs, whatever it may or may not have, who knows. At about the same time, former President Barack Obama said he thought aliens were real. Of course, he clarified the initial comments about it. So could this be the beginning of a big alien data dump? Who knows? The White House only told a reporter, quote, "Stay tuned," it replied on social media with an alien emoji. I don't know. I'm just telling you, they registered it. We'll see what happens.
They registered it, guys. Let's go here again. I think there's a little more from Dr. Greer about it.
Has committed fraud in reporting back to Congress, but also they have been hiding information that we have provided through whistleblowers. Remember, we have 750 top secret whistleblowers that I have debriefed and our intelligence assets. So we're offering this to Mr. Hegseth and to the president.
Okay.
And we provided some of that already.
I hope he steers away from the Pentagon. It seems like they've been covering this up for the last, since Roswell. Right. There was a report this weekend claiming that the White House could release UFO information, including videos, photos of non-human craft and non-humans, proving that we are not alone. And then they registered this domain website, aliens.gov. It got no attention. Do you think this is the plan? Start releasing this to the public. That's disclosure.
Yes, and they have to do it carefully and not follow the advice of Mr. Bigelow, who owned Bigelow Aerospace, who's saying it should be a partial, or in my words, fake disclosure, because most of the UFOs seen are our reverse engineered craft. They're man-made. They've been made illegally, and only recently has the president and certain people been read in on that, and that's what we have been pushing for. So the public needs to understand there are two types of UFOs out there: man-made ones and the ones that are of non-human origin. And this is not being looked at, and it's a very dangerous game being played, because if they hide the fact that we have these craft that have been used by an unconstitutional entity that are involved in human trafficking and drug running.
This guy wanted Greer to talk about the website, and he's just like majoriculating on like hating Bigelow.
And other criminal activities. This is a very big mistake. I'll say that a partial truth is worse than a lie in this case.
It seems like Donald Trump is preparing to step to the podium and make some sort of announcement. I've only got a few seconds, but when do you think this disclosure, when do you think aliens.gov goes live?
I think it'd be in the next few months. We're working to see how much of the information that we have. We have the largest collection of intelligence, actual intelligence in the world on this, more than Mr. Hegseth would have access to in the Pentagon. I will assure you that.
I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the website. Anyways, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's stream. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you guys around. Please, God bless.